Oh my God, what am I doing? Hello, my name is Desi-Rae. I am 24 years old. I was born and raised in Jamaica, and I came to the United States when I was 17 to go to college. I went to college in upstate New York, and then I had a good time. And when I was finished, I then moved to New York City, and I'm not really here that often actually because I leave a lot for my job, but I've been here for a while, and I want to talk about how I feel about the racial tension in the United States, as someone who sort of grew up without it and grew up with lots of different colored faces around me and didn't really think about it, and then basically encountering a place where is this the right place? And then encountering a place where the uses of the term black and white are not just adjectives to describe someone, but an entire identity. I know not everybody thinks that way, but that is, how people tend to talk. The people who are sort of running the show and speaking for persons. And quite frankly, I've just gotten very tired of people assuming to know what I think and the way my perspective on the world based on my color. No one's ever really said, I think you think this, but nobody ever asks me. I don't know what this person's doing. Nobody ever asks me, and I just want to share my perspective. So I will start off with the fact that I never really saw myself as a black person growing up. I still don't. Of course, if someone asks me if I'm black, of course I'm black in terms of, how society uses a term to describe someone with a certain skin color. I don't really care about that. But a lot of the people that I meet in America who are from America, who were raised here and are black, mostly black people, really ever bring this up with me because I think they assume that I share their beliefs or perspectives. They see black as, who they are and their identity, and if you're not acknowledging their struggle or the struggle of their ancestors or, the struggle of black people, then I don't know, I guess you are naive, or you don't really care about that history, or you are not acknowledging them. And I'll just touch on a few things that really made me question what the hell is going on, because I haven't had that much experience with black Americans, but the some that I have, I would tell them. I remember this one incident in particular really bothers me. I told someone, that I went to school upstate, I went to college upstate, and I really, really was not focused on this stuff whatsoever. And they said, oh, so you were up with the slave masters. And the funny thing about it was that it was not meant as an insult. It was really just a casual comment. And that was this person's worldview, and that is shocking to me, that you can make such a statement, and you obviously have made these sorts of statements before, because it wasn't like you were whispering it to me in secret or something. And oh shit, what was that? I think something hit my glass. You were whispering it to me in secret. It was that, this is something that you're allowed to say, and nobody ever corrects you to say you can't just assume that someone has that sort of mentality of I'm superior, you're inferior, you do my bidding, you don't have personal property over yourself, you basically don't have will, your will is not important, and your sense of freedom and individuality is not important, because that's what you're really implying. It seems like a benign statement, but if you're saying that you're classifying a group of people just based on their skin color as having that sort of mentality, like a slave master, or someone who believes in that mindset, like I have the power over this other person. That's insane. I think that's insane. And of course, you know, I don't know if it's just that, you know, people of a lighter complexion think racist thoughts and they don't say them, but I'm quite fine with meeting people who maybe have certain opinions in their heads and they keep them to themselves. Like, I don't really care. I think the problem comes in when, you know, if you have control over the government and you can implement laws that stop people, but I don't really care about that. So, you know, if I'm meeting black people who are saying these things, I think that's a lot more offensive than someone secretly having thoughts about whatever. And, you know, I haven't really met people like that. It could be because of my personality. I don't know. I tend to get along with people, and honestly, I think that if my mind isn't really in that place, I'm just not really focusing on those things. You know, when I interact with someone, I would love to hear their story and what they have to say. And of course, like if someone tells me, you know, they feel like they've grown up in a society that doesn't like them. I had one girl told me that she thinks that white people are evil. Like, she really thinks that, and that it's in their DNA. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Like, to me, that's like doing the exact thing that you don't want them to do, which is to judge you and to treat you a certain way or think of you a certain way because of the color of their skin. And you know, there's so much more I want to say, but I think I'm going to stop there and try and sort of break it up into cohesive arguments, because that's just to give you an idea of the things that have been on my mind. And it's something that has really been sitting on my chest for a while, and I've been mulling over it for the past year or so. I feel like I can't really talk to anybody about it because I'm afraid to offend people. I'm afraid that my friends and my family, well, not my friends from Jamaica really, because they don't really think about this. Not my family, immediate family either, because they know I like to talk and think, and I don't really think along, like, is this safe to talk about? Like, I've never really been like that. And so I'm going to start talking about those things and my experiences and how I see everything. I'm probably going to touch on a lot of controversial topics because they don't impact me emotionally in the same way as a lot of people. I'm not saying I don't have feelings about them, but I don't know. I've brought things up with people, and it's understandable. Like, they get very, very emotional, and I get it. I really do. I really think it comes down to, you know, allowing a person to fulfill their potential, you know, chart their destiny, believe in themselves, live in a world that accepts them for who they are. And I'm pretty sure that's what I'm trying to do myself, is to share my thoughts, because I feel as if people won't accept me for who I am because of my thoughts being somewhat divergent from I don't want to say the norm, but the overhead narrative, like the narrative that is seen as the most common and the most accepted. So I just wanted to start with that. I will also say that I care deeply about people in general, people of all colors. I don't really like this, you know, in-group preference thing. I get that people do it because you look like me and you have my gene set, so I want to see you succeed, etc. I know that people do that, but because my upbringing was somewhat different, I don't really have that mindset. Anyway, that's just the beginning. I do have to make it sound, I don't know, like maybe break it up somewhat. So welcome. And I'm so glad that I'm starting this, because I don't really like feeling silence. It's not really me, and I'm sure that I will get some backlash, but I've thought about it for a while, And I would rather speak my thoughts than sort of live a lie and have everybody like me for who I really am not. Okay, that's it. Bye bye.